Hey guys, with the end of Sentinel League coming to a close, I decided that I wanted to try one last build before saying goodbye to these amazing recombinators. The build in question, Ignite Arc Elementalist. Do you want a build that can one-shot the entire screen? Do you want a self-caster build that is off meta? Or maybe you're getting tired of investing so much gear into defenses, so you're looking for another way to build the perfect glass cannon. Then Ignite Arc Elementalist is the build for you. But before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe. So as many of you guys may know, the self-cast Arc Witch has been a popular build archetype for a very long time, and with the numerous meta shifts we have seen with each passing league, the Arc Witch has become an increasingly difficult build to push into higher tier content. You have various issues like poor defenses, poor latency, and for some of us, poor mechanical skill, but that's a personal problem. One of the biggest issues with running a self-cast Arc build is that you have to stand still in order to attack your enemies, and as we all know, the easiest way to get shot by the Karui militia is to stop moving. You get the idea. So what I decided to do was utilize Shaper of Flames in order to minimize the amount of time you had to stand still while allowing you to run around and watch your enemies burn, and most of the time they just ended up dying in one shot. But of course, another problem with this build is the lack of mana regeneration, and after years of meticulous research, I have discovered a hidden technique to deal with this shortcoming. Instead of chugging those addictive mana flasks filled with ambrosia, you can now choose to siphon the souls of your enemies for the purpose of sustaining your spells. One of the things I enjoyed the most about this build is that even though it is an Ignite build that optimizes damage uptime during boss fights, it can also quickly one-shot squish your targets by scaling the speed of our damage over time. And with the speed of Ignite scaled really well, the damage profile of this build becomes oddly similar to another build archetype that used to be pretty meta. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. So the way this build works is you cast Arc into your enemies, ignite them with the most cracked Ascendancy passive, and watch them cry for mercy as their organs begin to boil and their flesh begin to melt. As you begin to question your morals, the ignites you inflict will begin to proliferate for no other reason than to tank your FPS. These can help out with clear speed too. By running Fan of Flames, Barracks Respite, and Eldritch Implicits on our gloves, we can greatly improve our clear speed and produce screen-wide one-shots that you can see right here. Now for our Ascendancy, we'll be running with Path of Exile's most popular anime waifu, the Elementalist. For our Ascendancy passives, we'll be running Bastion of Elements, Mastermind of Discord, Heart of Destruction, and of course, Shaper of Flames. In this build, Shaper of Flames is your bread and butter, and will allow you to minimize critical thinking, reduce attention span, and delete your last 2 brain cells. The other 3 passives, they're completely irrelevant. As you can see, we have a near perfect synergy with the Ascendancy passives. For our defenses, this build utilizes Determination, Purity of Elements, Defiance Banner, and of course, Cast on Death Portal. Tell me you have a glass cannon build without telling me you have a glass cannon build. You will also notice that I have a cast when damage taken Molten Shell. This is purely for cosmetics and allows me to see where my character is moving. Aside from that, make sure you have a constant intravenous injection of the most sublime substance in raid class. A small dosage of this combination of flasks will significantly alter your gaming experience. Trust me, your life will never be the same. Now let's talk about how to gear up this build. To gear up this build, you're gonna need 3 things: uniques, stats, and elemental resistances. For our helmet, we'll want Cadigan's Crown enchanted with any Arc enchant. Good luck finding one of those. The Battle Mage modifier allows the flat LE damage on our bow to be added to our spell damage. Corrupt to Kaom's Heart so that it has increased damage modifier for maximum output. Obtain a Replica Maloney's Mechanism to trigger Frenzy and apply Flammability. Replica Emberwake will increase our damage, and Barracks Respite will proliferate ignites. On our Amulet, Belt, Gloves, and Boots, we'll want to get as much elemental resistances and stat attributes as we possibly can. And that's really all. Make sure to get all your cluster jewels and you're just about ready to go. If you haven't already been convinced that this is the best possible glass cannon build to be playing, then please uninstall and allow me to persuade you. The Arc Witch build has always been an iconic build archetype in the PoE community, but with the recent revamp to Arc Nemesis modifiers, you would be hard pressed to make the original form of this build perform well in the end game, especially considering how long you have to stand still. If you're someone looking to play a damage over time build that performs very similar to how ED Contagion Trickster used to, then why not give this build a try? And if you're someone who enjoys seeing more build showcases like this one, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end, and I hope to see you all next time.